What is going on, Grinders? It's Chief. We're in the building. It is Take Your Pick'em, and we are back for another episode. It is Thursday, May 11th, 2023. So glad to come in and help you guys talk through some plays. I think this is going to be an interesting show today. I'm going to cover a couple that I think are going to benefit us today, especially when we have sort of a lag in the MLB slate. Not a lot of games today. I think it's only 6 games, but we've got NBA going and some other things. So we're going to talk through some concepts, talk through some ideas, give out a handful of plays, and then we will have you guys ready to pad those pockets. Of course, we're going to kick it off with our winning words of wisdom. And this is from Francis of Assisi. And this was a really good one today. It says, start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible. And suddenly you are doing the impossible. And I think that's so true, right? You've got to do what you have to do. And then you do the things that you can do, the things that you absolutely can do. And suddenly you're not turning this corner where you start doing things that you didn't think you could do. I think about it in terms of sports, where you may want to start dunking. I know when I was in high school, everybody wants to dunk, and so you start with a tennis ball, start with a soccer ball, go up to a girl's ball, and before you know it, those legs are strong enough. You put in the work. Now you're dunking a regulation size basketball, at least for the men's side. Obviously, the women's side, they have a different size. But my point is, you do the little things first, and you do it consistently. You do it continuously, and things start to pay off. So love that quote there. Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. We're going to kick this thing off with a recap, obviously, on the month right now in terms of plays right versus plays wrong. 21 plays right, 15 plays wrong. And yesterday, rough day yesterday. Chris Bryant obviously was one of my favorites. Chris Bryant did absolutely nothing at the plate, had 4 plate appearances. Had some double plays, couple strikeouts, just didn't materialize. Lance Lynn against Kansas City, 5.5 strikeouts, did not go well at all. He just had a rough first inning, just caught a beat down right out of the gate, and then just could not recover. The pitch count was a little bit too high for him to get there. Merrill Kelly at 5 strikeouts, that was one we really liked as well. We got that particular prop right. Edward Cabrera, less than 5.5 strikeouts. He started out on fire and faltered at the end, and so he was able to stay under as well. And then Clayton Kershaw live at 2.5 in the first 2 innings, which was kind of a bonus play. Nonetheless, we're going to include it. We're not cheating anyone. We're going to give out the wins. We're going to give out the losses. That was a loss as well. Had a double play to end the second inning, or he would have very well hit that prop with 3 strikeouts. Came right out the next inning. And the thing about Clayton Kershaw, if you remember me talking about it yesterday, I said at 8, I just didn't like it. It felt like a push, and he absolutely got the 8 strikeouts. However, later in the day, he was able to move to 7.5 strikeouts. And man, had we had that on the show, that would have been one we took advantage of. But nonetheless, we are back, and it is time to pad those pockets. Dave, what's going on, my brother? Thanks for joining the show. Appreciate you hanging out, hopping in the comments. And guys, please hop in the comments as much as you can. Once again, I said I'm going to talk through some concepts first, and then I will give out some plays today. So the first thing I want to talk about, I'm actually going to talk about the NBA playoffs. And look, this isn't going to be based on anything but the situation. So today I think we have a situation where we understand that Philadelphia is up 3-2 going home, and we know that Boston wants to try and win this game so they can get back home. What I think happens here tonight, and this is just what I think, okay? So please go with your own thought process as well. But I think we see a situation where the top players from Boston, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, I think they're going to play big minutes. I think they're going to be involved. And so what I would do today in terms of that particular game is I would be mixing and matching some of the counting stats for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So we've got Jason Tatum, looks like across the industry, is going to be mostly at 44.5 points, rebounds, assists. Jaylen Brown at 34.5 points, rebounds, assists. I would be putting those plays around some of the other plays that you like. And just building those types of cards. I'm going to, and so on Underdog, there's a promo for Underdog today, some payout boosters, and I will go ahead and cover those. So if you're not on Underdog, I would get on it. This is a really neat. So we've got Jason Tatum at 39.5 points, rebounds for a payout booster. The difference is you're not going to be able to have insurance for that. So no insurance for the payout booster. So just so you know. Also, Underdog has Jason Tatum at 45 flat points, rebounds, and assists. So right now it's going to be better to get him on a couple other sites. But Tatum has a 39.5 point rebound payout booster. Joel Embiid has a 9.5 free throws made payout booster. Nikola Jokic has a 52.5 points, rebounds, assists payout booster. Devin Booker, 31.5 points payout booster. Basically, what happens is if you hit a 2-pick, it goes up to 5x. A 3-pick 10x, a 4-pick 15x, and then if you hit 5, it's a 25x return. I think that's something really cool that they've done. So if you haven't been on Underdog today to experience that, definitely get over there. That's going to be fantastic. Now, back to what we were discussing. So Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, 44.5 points, rebounds, assists for Tatum, 34.5 points, rebounds, assists for Brown. I think we're taking the over in this spot. I just don't see how Boston does not push these players to the max. I think the only way they don't get there, in my humble opinion, is if there's a blow out of some sort, and Boston has really hammered Philly at home. I don't think in this game are the points. So we've got Tatum at 29.5 points, Jaylen Brown at 24.5 points. I think we're going over there as well. Once again, I just think that these teams are going to get pushed to the max. Now, another one that I do like in this spot, I actually do like Marcus Smart at 13.5 points as well. He's played pretty well. And another one that I like is Marcus Smart free throws. Now, this one is on PrizePicks. We've got Marcus Smart free throws at 1.5. I do like that one. So that's one you can include in the mix. And so those are a couple plays that I like in this particular spot for these guys in a game that they must win. And so Tatum, Smart, Brown, in terms of the points, they're going to be exactly the same on PrizePicks and Underdog. So I really like those particular ones. Here we go. So the next concept for today. Oh, sorry. Let me backtrack. So these plays, Tatum and Brown, where I'm kind of sticking with star power here. What we want to do is take those plays and put those around other things that you like today. So whether that's esports, soccer, baseball, we can take those plays and put them around. So once again, Tatum and Brown, points, rebounds, assists, points, and then Smart points. You can take those, put it around other plays. I think you'll have some success there. Where this is a must win, absolute must win, and go home. Another concept that I like today, if you're on Underdog, then you'll have a little bit more counting stats and some fantasy points. So like on Underdog, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to stack the Mets bats today. Okay, that's what I'm going to attempt to do. Now it's going to feel a lot better on PrizePicks, where on Underdog, they're not giving us much. So they are giving us Brett Batty at 1.5 hits run. Daniel Vogelbach, though, at 0.5 hits. I love that. One of my favorite plays of the day. So this one is included. I'm going to go ahead and discuss that one now. We will go ahead and pull up our screen share. And that's one that popped at me on the sheet today. So we have this sheet that's provided by Chris Gimino daily. Does a fantastic job. Once again, I am going to attempt to stack the Mets today. But that particular play, the Daniel Vogelbach play, is coming from the sheet, right? And so what we have here, if we look, we've got Daniel Vogelbach 0.5 bases. We're basically expecting him to get a hit, right, or more. And so that win percentage there is 66.41%. It's total bases on PrizePicks. It is hits on Underdog. That's a favorite of mine today. I definitely like it. They're going to be facing a barrage of pitchers. They're going to start out with oh my goodness. All right, folks. It looks like we're back. Looks like we had a technical snag there. I'm not sure what happened. Sorry about that. Uh, sorry for all the listeners. I know I had to drop off and come back in, but it looks like we are back on track. Once again, please forgive me for that. So sorry. All right, back on track here. So I do like Daniel Vogelbach. You know, guy's going to be facing righties today. And looks like he's got a 149 ISO, 392 over 21% K rate and a 20% walk rate. Let's hope that he does not walk a bunch of guys today. We want him to be cruising along, getting hits, and hopefully he can get those hits right out of the gate. So once again, I do. All right, folks, I am back yet again. I'm not sure what's going on. Looks like everything seems to be in order now. My internet was being real spotty there for whatever reason. But at any rate, back to the Mets. I do like the Mets as a stack today. If you're on underdog, you're only going to have a chance to get. I would only maybe take Jeff McNeil total bases, Daniel Vogelbach hits, and Brett Beatty 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, or 7.5 fantasy points. I would be in on the over on both of those. On PrizePicks, however, we have a plethora of options. Once again, these are concepts where we have Daniel Vogelbach total bases. We have Pete Alonso fantasy points, Francisco Lindor fantasy points, Brandon Nimmo fantasy points. We've got Brett Beatty hits, runs, RBIs. We've got Mark Canha hits, runs, and RBIs. And so those are ones. All of these Mets plays that we like: Vogelbach, Canha, Beatty, Lindor, Alonso, Nimmo. We like over on all of these. They should have a really good day at the plate. So really like those guys. Now, I'm going to get into my last two plays. So Daniel Vogelbach is going to be included in what we want to do today. Okay. And I'm going to keep the screen share down today because it seems like perhaps maybe that's contributing for the day. Another one that we like today is going to be Nathan Eovaldi at 95.5 pitches facing Oakland. This is a guy that the pitch count has really been up the past couple of games, and he's been going deep. My hope is that, look, we just need to get to 96 pitches. I think that's something he can do against the Oakland Athletics, so I really like that one. And then last but not least, we've got Tommy Henry at 4.5 strikeouts. This is a situation where I'm absolutely going to be siding with the under for Tommy Henry. Now, I don't like San Francisco for what it's worth. I think this team has the K rates are really awful, but I don't think Tommy Henry has the stuff to get it done today. So at 4.5 strikeouts, 10% K rate on the season, 6.49 xFIP. If we even go to last season, because I know we're still early. Last season he had a 17.6% K rate, 10.2% walk rate, 5.92 xFIP. Not much has changed. I think the San Francisco Giants are able to get to Tommy Henry. So sorry about the technical difficulties today, folks. I'm going to give a quick recap and then we'll get out. So the concepts for today's show. We understand that Boston is going into Philly. This is a must-win game. If they don't win this game, Philly is going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think we see Boston push their stars to the max. So these are plays because you can't play them together. You have to mix them with other things. So you've got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, 34.5 points, rebounds, assists. Jason Tatum, 44.5 points, rebounds, assists. We want the overs or more than those projections. We also want more than their point projections, where Jason Tatum is at 29.5 and Jaylen Brown is at 24.5. Also, like Marcus Smart at 13.5 points, we want more than those projections. Another concept that we're going to utilize today. We like the New York Mets batters. We're going to mix and match those batters. 1.5 rebounds for Beatty. Total bases for Daniel Vogelbach at 0.5. 1.5 points, hits, runs, RBIs for Connor on PrizePicks. On Underdog, I think he's at total. We've got Jeff McNeil at total bases, and then we've got the fantasy point projections for Lindor, Alonso, Nemo on PrizePicks. We want the over on that. This team is in a good spot, and then also we have Nathan Eovaldi at 95.5 pitches. We like more than that projection. They've really allowed him to go deep into these games. And then also we've got Tommy Henry at 4.5 strikeouts. We like less than that projection. All right, folks. Sorry for the technical difficulties today. Thanks for hanging with us. I'm Chief. This has been Take Your Pick'em. Come in with your pockets empty. Leave with your pockets full. We'll see you tomorrow.